It's not good to be misleading. It could break trust among friends. Well, sometimes the SAT could be misleading. My name is Paul Pasolka, Ivy Masters Learning Center and IvyMasters.com. Today we're going to look at Test 3, Section 2, number 13, which you might find a little misleading. Question is, which choice provides the most logical introduction to the sentence? So if we're talking about an introduction to the sentence, you're thinking, oh, you just got to keep that sentence in mind. Actually, it's more helpful to read the sentence before and see what best transitions from the sentence before. Not only that, but if I am to be so bold to make a general rule, most of the questions on SAT are like number 14, 15 on the Section 2 writing language, which is first answer is no change, and then you have your options. Whenever it asks you a question, regardless of whether it's asking you what transitions after, what transitions before, or how to best combine the sentences, pay attention to the transition before and after. Let's check the transition before. However, food available on rail lines was generally of terrible quality. That's actually helpful in answering our question, even though that's not what the question is referring to. Answer choice A. Despite having worked for railroad companies, Fred Harvey, an English-born entrepreneur, decided to open his own restaurant business to serve rail customers. Well, despite shows difference, and if he worked for railroad companies, it would make more sense that he's going to open up a railroad restaurant and not one somewhere else. So answer choice A does not make logical sense. Answer choice B. He had lived in New York and New Orleans, so Fred Harvey, an English-born entrepreneur, decided to open a restaurant business to serve rail customers. So what? He lived in two different places. I mean, someone might stretch it and be like, hey, well, if he's traveled between those places before, it's logical reason he would open up a business on a rail line. A little bit of a stretch, not that answer. If we look at the delete answer choice, we've got, however, food available on rail lines was generally of terrible quality. Fred Harvey, an English-born entrepreneur, decided to open his restaurant to serve rail customers. Sounds okay, but make sure you consider answer choice C. Keeping in mind the transition before, however, food available on rail lines was generally of terrible quality. Well, if the food was terrible, there might be a demand for good food. To capitalize on, to take advantage of the demand for good food, Fred Harvey, an English-born entrepreneur, decided to open his own restaurant business to serve rail customers. That is your best answer. Again, the transition before, I think, is more helpful than the sentence itself, but this is something that you know now to look out for on the SAT. Thank you for joining us today. If you like this video, click like. You could share it with someone who has trouble with these types of transition pieces of sentence. If there's any question you'd like to see answered from any official PSAT or SAT or ACT, leave that in the comments. I'd be happy to shoot a video on it. And click subscribe so you don't miss anything. Have a great day.